Hi, my name is Dr. Stephen Newhart, and this is the Dr. Fit podcast channel. On this channel, we believe that exercise is medicine. I spent 17 years of my life as a personal trainer prescribing exercise to people, and I found that it was a massive improvement strategy for disease. And on this channel, we're going to bring in a lot of experts. We're going to talk about science-based education and how it can be used to better your life or to even eliminate disease. Hi everyone, thank you for logging in to the Dr. Fit podcast channel. I am Dr. Stephen Newhart, and I have a wonderful guest with me today. She's actually a very good friend of mine. I think we've known each other for about 10 years now. And full disclosure, Kathleen and I did work together in a personal trainer-client relationship for a while, and she just saw such amazing outcomes from this. We like sharing this story with people and letting everybody out there know what is possible. So her name's Kathleen Almond. Kathleen, thank you for being here with me today. I appreciate it.
Glad to.
And I guess we could kind of just start. Where I met you and when I met you, and you can tell me what was kind of going on inside your head and in your life at that time. And then we can talk a little bit about what we did to, kind of reverse the issues that were going on in a natural manner through exercise. Yes. And maybe even a little bit of diet. You've always been pretty good with the diet, but just kind of tell myself, where'd you start?
Okay. I was 54 years old when I first came to see you. That was 6 years and 5 months ago. I looked at it on the calendar, and it's been an amazing journey. But I was finding that dreading going to the doctor every visit because I'd gained a pound or two, and trying to figure out why is this happening to me. Just figured it was a getting older thing, and it wasn't acceptable to me. Sure. My bone density from the first bone density test I'd ever had been osteopenia, and my grandmother, she had very bad osteoporosis, and so I didn't want to go in that direction, and I'd heard information that weight training could change that for me, and that was my main focus. I didn't want to have my bones cracking like my grandmother.
Right, sure.
And so that's what started the discussion.
So we kind of have two issues going on. There was a little bit of weight gain, and then there was, hey, I'm concerned with my bone density. I don't want to have the bone breaks that has kind of been historic in my family, and I guess those were the two main driving factors. Yes. I do remember the day that I met you, actually, and it was an emotional conversation that we had because you'd been presented with this disease, which you definitely looked at it as a disease, and I guess we can look at it as a disease. It's easily preventable in my opinion, but it is still, as our most diseases that we know, or chronic diseases, are preventable.
True.
If we do the right things.
Yes.
So we knew we had this, and our first conversation, I remember, was very heartfelt, and I want to make this change. When the weight gain was starting, what were you doing anything to try to combat that before you met me?
I had been coming to the gym. I had been working out. I'd been taking classes. My diet wasn't bad, but you stray off and you get kind of lazy from time to time, and you eat things and you say, no, well, just one or two, or here or there. But if you're not doing anything, that is not helping you at all. Sure. And as I learned, and as you told me things that I needed to cut out in my diet once we had that discussion, I'd also had a very hard commute for work. It was 2 years and 2 months. I remember that because once I got out of it, I was very happy. A great job, but the commute was killing me, and that was stress. And that was also probably affecting my weight and lack of sleep, and an inability to sleep because of tiredness. And but I had changed jobs, and I had been working downtown again for a while, and the weight gain was still occurring. I hadn't found how to go back to where I was. Yeah. And that's what was also on my list, was get back to my little self, because that's the way it always been my whole life.
Yeah.
And this was unacceptable.
I love your drive. I mean, I really do. When I first met you, I thought, well, this would be a great personal training client because she's actually going to listen to what I tell her to do. And for listeners, for everybody out there, when I met you, I thought, okay, the only thing lacking from her program is some load placed on her body, which we all know to be as resistance training. What do we know physically? We know that there's dumbbells, there's machines, and there are barbells. And so those place an external resistance. And we'll go over a little bit, I imagine, through the end of this into what happens to the body, because that's, after they hear what happened to you and the improvements that were made, it's why did that happen? I mean, I think everybody's kind of curious. We know, lift weights.
Yes.
Well, what is actually going on? And so I can explain that. So we started applying resistance training into your life. And, so Kathleen, how much do you, if you wouldn't mind, how much do you weigh now? How much did you weigh then, or when you first started your weight?
Right now I weigh 132,
Okay.
but we had worked out, as you continued to assess me as we were training, if you remember, my bone density was gaining, so that was a positive.
Right.
That does add to weight. You kept checking my body fat, and you determined that my gain was really in muscle mass and bone density.
Right.
So, and I was lean, and so I was happy. If I weighed more, that was fine, because the bones, as long as I was getting back to my little self, and I was, even though I weighed more. So my 132 is not a problem for me.
Of course not. And that's
I'm very happy.
That's an extremely healthy weight. I was going to use it in relation to how strong you got. Okay?
Yes.
So just in relation to one exercise, which is called a back squat, which you know very well. You place a bar across your back. Now, everybody should know that, you can see Kathleen. You can see she is a female, and she was able to place this bar on her back with some proper guidance, and it's not uncomfortable, as you know.
No.
A barbell weighs 45 pounds, so we began applying, we'll say that as minimal. Comparatively to her body weight, 45 pounds is not that much. So we found a comfortable place to place it up on your back, which is where you do this normally. And that exercise applies load to your body, right? So we started there. Over the course of I don't think you actually maxed out at 115 pounds on your back for maybe about a year.
Right.
But I wanted to put it in perspective that, this is the word progressive overload at its best. Progressive overload means that you slowly stair-step your way up.
Yeah.
In a year's time, probably back squatting once a week together, over, as we just said, a year, you were able to build that weight up to 115 pounds. And so that external load was stimulating your bones and started to make those improvements as you just discussed.
Yes.
So it is possible to do. It's just learning an exercise to start and then inching your way up very, very slowly. Okay, so 45 pounds to 115 pounds over the course of a year, that's extremely small incremental, climbing. So we had that, and that's just one exercise. Kathleen did probably 30 or 40 different resistance training exercises over the course of that time, and we did the same stair-step principle with all of them. I remember it was about a year, I think it was actually at the year mark, when you had hit that 115 pound back squat max. I thought, okay, the bone density has got to be 100% in the green. But you went, and it still wasn't there yet. It had climbed, but it was, and I thought, oh my gosh, a year, really? With 115 pounds of load, this is just, how is this not possible yet?
Right.
So do you remember what we incorporated after that?
Plyometrics.
Plyometrics was the next piece. And so I'll explain the two as well, and why. And plyometrics, after 3 months of plyometrics, jumping exercises, the bone density went proper. So a resistance training exercise is where you place weight on your body and you usually move it slow. It's going to be a lot heavier feeling than a jump.
Yeah.
But everybody should understand that, let's just say I jumped off of this desk here to the floor, which is probably 2.5, 3 feet. My body weight gets amplified by 5 to 10 times briefly. It's very brief, so it doesn't feel like it. Mm-hmm. That external load makes your bones bend a little bit. The magic behind bone density improvement is bone bending. When your body senses the bones bowing or bending a little bit, that is when the osteocytes come in and do their job. And actually, that's when you can take the calcium from your diet and stick it in. Because there, I believe, and you can tell us, you were on calcium.
For years.
Where it wasn't. And what was it causing that was negative? Wasn't there a negative side effect of the calcium, maybe to do with your heart?
I was told that I did have a small calcium deposit in my heart.
Build up in your heart.
Yes.
And so that's the product, which is interesting, right? Because we're thinking that using the calcium supplement to correct this issue is what's going to work. Mm-hmm. Yet if the body's not performing any work, or there's no stress, or there's no load, it has no reason to use that calcium. Right. Therefore, it just starts to accumulate in places where it's not supposed to.
Right. So it wasn't doing any good.
Right. So I remember that going away as well. And but all in all, and then the weight. I remember, there is a point where somebody will get so thin that you'll say, "Hey."
Yes, I remember that day.
Yeah.
You pulled me aside and said,
I think, we had to tell Kathleen, I think you're getting too thin. She had stayed on relatively the same nutrition plan. We cut out like some butter and stuff.
Yeah, I cut out butter, and that was just really big.
Which it was for body fat, of course. But your lean mass was building, and your metabolism was naturally climbing. So it's burning extra calories. Then we cut the butter out, and then so 116. I think it was 116 pounds is the day that I said, let's put something back in. It was the combination of the two, though, right? We cut out butter and we added muscle. So it was like, it just flipped really fast. And just little things can always make the body change like that. So here we are down the road, and you still are on your program, and you're maintaining that bone density and maintaining that great body image and that great weight and that great health that you have. And it's just so exciting.
It is exciting.
I'm excited for you and your results that you saw. And so I couldn't be happier for you. And I'm glad you're still a member here with us. And
it's one of the best things I ever could have done.
Yeah.
I recommend it highly. Training with a personal trainer. I don't care how many classes I took to come down here and just work out with heavy weights. I had to have your instruction, or I could never have done it right.
I don't know if
I wouldn't have attempted it.
And I don't know if it'll ever be replaced. You think, okay, we're gonna have this technology. I just don't know.
Yeah.
I think person to person, and an educated professional is gonna watch your every move, correct it as it goes.
Yeah.
Be there to spot you. Mm-hmm. I learned that in high school, playing high school sports and lifting weights with a team. If I didn't have my spotters there, I surely would have dropped it on my face.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now the person who's doing this guidance for you is also able to apply an external load that you need to grow bone and muscle to that level where I make it safe for you.
Right.
And I'm still a huge proponent of this. I don't want us to get away from this. I want us to still know that this thing exists, and it's real, and it provides the best benefit. And you think of all the money that we spend on actually silly things, overpriced food, and just things that we don't need in life.
Yeah.
Where we could be putting it towards something like that. And get a much greater outcome, and really just correct mind, body, have health, better quality of life, however you want to, put a term on that.
Right.
It's just, so I'm with you. I agree. And so for a job, are you moving, or are you sedentary for your job?
For my job, I am sedentary, so I have to get up and move. And when I get into my work a little too much, then I get up and I move, and I say, yes, you need to move some more. So I have to do something. Since now I work at home, it is my goal to figure it out how to get down here more often. And when I can't, I'm going to take my 3-mile walks.
That's
in the neighborhood, and just push, because got to keep moving.
I imagine it won't be too much longer.
Yeah.
We need all you guys to come back downtown.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
It's the routine, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You know, we think,
you.
oh, it's convenient to be at home. But at the same time, when I get out of the house, I actually set into this nice routine where I do a healthy lunch and I'm in community and I have my gym that's right there. I can go down there and exercise. Yeah. So many benefits to that I think we also need to address that during, you know, people working at home. And is it the healthiest? And sadly, my mind is only geared towards people's health. So I'm immediately going to say, not healthy.
That's good. No. That's good.
You know, like, no, it's not working. And I can tell you that before we even test it for 1 month, that it's not going to work towards people's health. Does it work towards the bottom line of the company and things like that? Maybe. But, you know, I'm just super happy for you, Kathleen.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving us this time. If there's anything that you want to say to other, you know, people out there, females, younger, older, males even, you know, what would it be as far as their fitness journey goes?
The choice that I made, I knew was an investment for me. It was. I didn't have a car payment at the time. And I thought, well, why don't I put my car payment, you know, I don't have towards this. And I just told my husband, I said, you know what? He was going, oh, is this cost? And I said, you know, I don't have a car payment. Let me just make an investment in my health, which that's a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
And train so I can learn how to do this for myself so that I can continue, because I plan on continuing. I will continue on.
Oh, sure.
You know, I'm going to be in the gym. Yeah. I'm going to lift my weights. I'm going to keep my bones strong, because I'm not going back to where I was. There's no way I'm going to let that happen. And I recommend that to anybody who says, what am I doing? I'm not the weight that I used to be. Well, find out where you can be, you know, find out, you know, just get out there and start working out. Get with a trainer if you don't know. I didn't know my way around the gym. I was totally intimidated, but you helped me, and the value of working with a trainer is you see where our weaknesses are.
Right.
And so you know, your job is, you know, you want to make the whole body strong, equally strong, so that you can do the exercises that you're going to train me to do.
Sure.
And so therefore you see the things that I don't.
Yeah.
And that's very valuable. And those lessons stay with you forever.
That's right.
You just got to get in here and learn how to do it, which when we trained twice a week, and I was on my own once a week. And that helped me. You know, I don't know that I could be doing what I'm doing now if not for that. That was very valuable. So I recommend it to anybody. It's worth the investment, even if it's only, if you say I only have a year that I can do this.
Yeah.
Do it for a year. It'll change everything for you.
It's interesting on the side of kinesiology. We put the money out through certification and textbooks. That's our version. We are learning from someone else.
Yeah.
You know, first it was sport coaches, and then it was, well, let's read the literature and spend the money there. So to do anything in the right way, and I think that health is probably the most important thing we could do in life, because it literally is life, right? You know, we all spend our money getting there in some way, shape, or form to get the education on it. So and for somebody doing a year of personal training, it would probably not even meet the amount that I spent on schooling and this to get the knowledge, and to you know, the knowledge keeps me where I am, and then I can bring it to you.
Yes.
So, but thank you for your time today, Kathleen. You've been
You're
a
welcome.
wonderful guest. It's great hearing your story. We always talk about it, but I now that we have this option and this vessel to deliver information to people, I wanted to be sure I had you on and we told the story.
Thank you.
So thank you for your time. Thank you guys for listening, and tune in again to Dr. Fit, where we'll just talk about everything health. So have a great day.